How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I just wanted to go over some quick builds for the Ninja for newer players, or just to share some ideas with others, kind of what I do. And, I feel like the Ninja's a very underrated class. I feel like a lot of people kind of use them maybe Chapter 2, Chapter 3, and then they kind of fall off late game and people don't really care about them, or they replace them because there's so many units in the game. But I think the Ninja is a very solid class and very good, especially with some of the current, I don't know if I call them bugs or just mispronounced things, tooltip errors, whatever. But one of the major things that makes the Ninja really good now, that I have been a fan of, that I found out, is the Benum and Venom and the Silence, all the little status effects, all of these. We got Envenom, and we got Benum and Brittle. These all do last forever. They do not go off. And the tooltip doesn't say anything about it wearing off next turn, or wearing off at the end of the turn or anything, so it's very interesting. Like it says, indirect ninjutsu spell that causes the melee weapon of a single target to poison opponents triggers automatically. It's an auto skill. Now, this affects your melee weapon and your ranged weapon. For whatever reason, almost every tooltip that talks about melee weapon should just say attack. Causes the next ninjutsu spell that causes an attack of a single target to poison opponents. Something along those lines. And what's really interesting is this will stay on the whole battle. It will not go away unless you overwrite it with another ninjutsu spell. So that's why it's important you only have one of these on and not like all three, because you'll keep overwriting and then you might have silence or you might have stun. And this will affect like I said, both of them. And I'm pretty sure it won't overwrite the charm on this. So you might charm and poison, which kind of sounds counterintuitive because the poison will just break the charm. But I don't know. I've never really tried it with the ranged, because I assume it never worked on ranged weapons. So I never tried to do it on ranged weapons. You know what I mean? So I couldn't tell you that. I don't think it overwrites the charm. It might, But I always did the melee, so I only found out recently, last few days, that that kind of stuff sticks to both weapons. Same thing with the Dragoon. When you do Beast Slayer or Dragon Slayer, not only does it affect the melee weapon, but if they have a bow, crossbow, it'll affect that as well. Now, a couple of things people like to do, they can use katanas, and they do have access to the double attack ability. And double attack's really nice. Now, you could build dual daggers, dual katanas. I just have one katana and I have a blowgun. I really like blowguns on certain characters that can use them because of the status effects. And Charmed is very strong. I find Charmed to be very good. Charm, Poison, Breach, Silence. There's a lot of good status effects, a lot of good conditions. And I love blowguns because they can have that condition effect on them. And their finishes are pretty nice too. So that's how I have my ninja set up. But like I said, you can do dual daggers, dual katanas. It's really nice. Now, with the accuracy system being kind of broken the way it is, smoke screen and other abilities that affect accuracy and evasion on the enemy are kind of silly to use, I feel, right now. Because unless you're about 5 levels above the enemy, or you have stats that are, 50 to 100, stat points above the enemy, or even pushing max level, missing becomes less and less common and is rather pointless. So I don't recommend putting that on unless you, for some reason, your game has misses all the time. And then Steel Stance I feel is really good just to make the ninja a little more tanky, because the ninja gets hit pretty hard, a lot of the time. It sucks because they kind of got to be a frontline unit, but they also don't have the ability to take a lot of hits. They're kind of like a Rune Fencer in a way, where they're kind of like a hybrid. But the main problem is I find a Rune Fencer to be more tanky and be able to take a couple more hits. So having this greatly helps. Back attack, I guess, if you really want to. Concentration can help with your ninjutsu, so, that's nice to have. And then, you're pretty much good there. I don't know which other ones you guys would use, but I think those are the kind of the bread and butter. And then I just have Leaping Monkey on and Decoy, because there's really nothing else to put right there, really. And they're useful in their own ways, if you... situational, kind of, but very useful. And then obviously you match your element, your main ninjutsu with the element, so they're kind of like a caster. And it's nice that it's an AoE. All of the ninjutsus are that are like elemental based, so that's always cool to have. But yeah, I think the ninja is a solid character, and I think a lot of people don't fully utilize the ninja, at least in the comments of videos I've made in the past and reading things. And I think they're really useful, especially in the Palace of the Dead. You know, a lot of the status effects can be really helpful, and they don't really wear off. I just feel like people replace them because there's so many darn units in the game. You gotta make cuts, you know? What do you guys think? Do you guys like the ninja? Do you still use the ninja? Are you a ninja user through and through, or do you just find they fall off? Do you find better alternatives? I've had people tell me they use ninjas in the Palace of the Dead, so let me know. I'm very curious to know what you guys think about the ninja, what your builds are. Please let me know down below. Until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Later, guys. Peace.